Pisces, I'm seeing it right away. July 18th is not about confusion. It's about you knowing, then doubting what you know. The High Priestess reversed. This card is the first hit, and the reversed energy is loud. You got a signal, and then you talked yourself out of it. You saw the pattern. You felt the shift. Then you went looking for proof outside of yourself instead of sitting still with what your body already clocked. Maybe you ignored the text timing. Maybe you kept making excuses for somebody's weird behavior. Maybe you felt that drop in your stomach and decided to scroll ask, check, and check again. The High Priestess reversed says your inner knowing is there, but you are not letting it speak cleanly. You are mistaking noise for clarity. You are second guessing the exact warning that was trying to protect you. The Devil, because this one is sticky. The Devil is showing attachment, not love. The Devil is showing the hook. You know what keeps pulling you back, and you keep calling it chemistry? You keep checking, you keep circling, you keep telling yourself it is just curiosity, but it is compulsion. The Devil says the loop is the point. The loop is the trap. You answer the message, then regret it. You peek at the profile, then feel worse. You remember the thrill and you ignore the cost. The Devil is not asking you to shame yourself. It is asking you to admit what has you bound. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. The Devil is asking you to stop romanticizing the chain. If it keeps pulling you away from your peace, that is the pattern. Name it. Knight of Wands, this is where the fire comes in. And Pisces, you can absolutely feel that surge. Knight of Wands wants movement now, wants the text sent, wants the plan made, wants the door open before the mind catches up. But the Knight of Wands can turn into pure impulse if you are not careful. You rush because the feeling is hot. You chase because it feels alive. You start because stillness feels unbearable. And then you are left cleaning up the chaos. Don't do that. Channel the fire. Move with intention. Check the map before you take off. If you are going to act on purpose, not because you are restless. Not because you need a hit. Not because the chase feels better than the truth. So the moment is simple, even if the feeling is not. The High Priestess reversed says you already knew. The Devil says you got attached to what keeps you stuck. Knight of Wands says you still have power, but you need direction. You knew this already. You do not need more signs. You need to stop overriding the one you already got. Slow down. Look at the pattern. Then choose what actually frees you. Pisces, July 18th. I'm seeing the split right away. You already had the warning. You just kept moving like the warning would change itself. The High Priestess reverse, this card is about blocked intuition, and the word reversed matters here. You felt the first no, then you talked yourself out of it. You checked the thread again. You scrolled for proof. You asked other people what they thought, like their answer could override your gut. Don't lie to yourself. The pattern is simple. You knew something was off, and then you started treating doubt like a fact. The move now is not to force certainty. It is to sit still long enough to hear the signal under the noise. If the same feeling keeps returning, that is the message. Not the panic, not the overthinking, the repeat. The Hermit. This card is pulling you inward, and I mean inward for real. Not hiding, not disappearing, just stepping out of the noise long enough to think clearly. You canceled the plan. You went quiet. You needed that. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You still need that. There is something you can only see when you stop performing for everybody else. Journal at night. Take the walk alone. Put the phone down and let your own mind catch up to your body. The Hermit is not asking you to abandon people. It is asking you to stop outsourcing your answers. If you keep looking outside for confirmation, you will miss the truth that is already forming inside you. Follow the lantern inward. Stay there long enough to name what you want. The Devil, this card is the hook. The Devil is the loop. This card is the thing you keep checking even when you know it feeds the same wound. I'm seeing the compulsive behavior clearly. You looked, then looked again, then told yourself it was just curiosity. It was not just curiosity. It was attachment. It was the part of you that confuses intensity with love. This is where you have to separate desire from dependency. If it makes you feel pulled, trapped, and obsessed, name it for what it is. Do not romanticize the chain. Do not call it chemistry just because it is familiar. The Devil shows where the pattern owns the calendar, the mood, the attention. Break the loop by naming the hook, then stop feeding it. Knight of Wands, this card brings motion, but it is not a free pass to act wild. The Knight of Wands wants the text sent, the move made, the chase started. Fast, hot, immediate. And that is exactly why you have to slow it down one beat. Check the map before you run. If you rush in just because it feels exciting, you will leave a mess behind you. Maybe you already did. Maybe you fired off the message, started the thing, or jumped back into the situation before you checked what it would cost you. This card is not saying no to action. It is saying channel the fire, move with direction. If you are going to pursue with a reason. Not just adrenaline, not just restlessness. Purpose, that is the difference. So for you, Pisces, the moment is clear. The truth was there. The silence was there. The hook was there. And now the choice is here. Stop treating confusion like a mystery. Stop treating intensity like destiny. Sit with what you already know and then move only where your peace stays intact. Pisces, July 18th, because the stall is the message. The High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess reversed is showing you where you already felt the warning and still kept moving. You checked the signs, then talked yourself out of them. You asked everybody else, then ignored the part of you that knew first. The Hermit. The Hermit comes in when the noise gets too loud and the truth gets quiet. So now you pull back, you stop answering fast. You cancel the extra plan. You sit with the one feeling you keep trying to outrun. Actually, no, not outrun. You sit with it until it tells the truth. Eight of Wands reversed. Eight of Wands reversed is the delay you keep trying to force through. The text is late. The reply is messy. The timing is off. You keep pushing a conversation that keeps stalling, and every time you push harder, it jams more. Silence is not closure just because you want it to be. The Devil. The Devil is the loop, the hook, the thing you keep touching even though you know it burns. You check the profile again, you reread the message again. You keep the door cracked because the intensity feels like proof. Let me rephrase that. Intensity is not proof. Attachment is not love when it keeps you stuck in the same room with the same wound. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands wants movement, but not chaos, not the impulsive text. Not the grand gesture at midnight, not the run toward what excites you before you check the consequence. Knight of Wands wants you to act with aim. Put the fire somewhere useful. Make the call after you know what you are actually trying to get back. I'm seeing a pattern here. You pull away to get clear, then the old pull comes back. You get quiet, then the urge to chase gets loud. That is the moment, mid-conflict. Movement stalls and the unfinished thing starts calling your name again. The High Priestess reverse says your inner voice has been talking. You just kept scrolling past it. The Hermit says go back inside and listen without the panic. Eight of Wands reversed says do not force the reply, the timing or the outcome. The Devil says name the attachment before it names you. Knight of Wands says if you move clean. So what do? You stop feeding the loop. You stop checking what keeps you hooked. You stop calling a delay a denial, and you stop calling a craving a sign. You take one step, not 10. One honest step. One clear message if it is truly needed. One choice that does not leave you chasing your own tail. For you, Pisces, this is not about proving anything. This is about breaking the pattern where your body already feels the answer, but your hands keep reaching for the old thing anyway. Slow down. Listen. Then move like you mean it. Pisces, I'm seeing the pattern now. July 18th is not asking you to start over. It is asking you to admit the loop is repeating. The High Priestess reversed. Your gut has been talking and you kept scrolling past it. You checked for signs everywhere except the one place that mattered. The warning was there in the first pause, the first mixed signal, the first moment your body tightened and your mind tried to explain it away. Stop outsourcing the answer. Sit still long enough to hear what you already know. The Hermit. This card says pull back and get honest with yourself. Not with them. With yourself. Cancel the extra noise. Put the phone down, take the walk alone. Write the thing you keep avoiding. I'm seeing you trying to make sense of it in real time, and that is not working. The answer is not in the crowd. It is in the quiet you keep skipping. Eight of Wands reversed. The messages are stalled. The timing is off. The conversation keeps hitting a wall, and you keep trying to push through it like force will fix delay. Actually, no, it won't. This card says stop sending reactive texts. Stop reading silence like closure. The delay is showing you friction, not momentum. One thing at a time, one clear move. That is all. Six of Swords reversed. You are not fully leaving this behind. Part of you keeps going back to what you already outgrew. Part of you keeps reopening the wound just to see if it still hurts the same. Hold on. That is the clue. You are carrying baggage into a space that needs a clean exit. Name what you are still dragging with you. The memory, the hope. The familiar ache. If you do not release it, you will keep calling limbo a connection. The Devil, this is the hook. This is the compulsive check, the profile refresh, the just one more look that turns into a whole night gone. You are not confused about the pattern. You are attached to the intensity. That is not the same thing as love. That is not the same thing as truth. The cycle stays alive because something in you keeps feeding it. Cut the feed, name the addiction, separate desire from dependency. Knight of Wands, and here comes the urge to move fast again, to send the bold text, to chase the spark, to act like motion is the same as progress. It is not. Let me rephrase that. Motion without a map just burns you out faster. If you move with intention. Check the consequences first. Check your body first. Then act. Not because you are restless, because you are ready. This moment is clear. The cycle is not evolving, it is repeating. And the moment you stop mistaking repetition for destiny, the spell breaks. Pisces, July 18th. Because the truth is landing now. The cycle is not evolving. It is repeating. The High Priestess reversed. You already knew this, but you kept second guessing it. Your gut flagged the situation, and then you went looking for noise to override it. Scrawling, checking, asking, rereading. That is blocked intuition in real time. The warning was there. You just did not sit still long enough to hear it. The Hermit. This is the part where you pull back and stop performing certainty. You need a quiet minute alone, not more opinions. Cancel the extra conversation. Take the walk. Write the thing down at night before you react. The answer is not out there somewhere. It is in the space you keep avoiding. Eight of Wands reversed. Communication is stalling, and you keep trying to force it anyway. The text does not come. The plans shift. The conversation keeps slipping through your hands. Actually, no, this is not a sign to push harder. This is a sign to simplify. One message. One clear question. Then stop chasing movement that is not moving. Six of Swords, reverse. You are carrying old baggage into a place that needs a clean exit. Part of you already knows what is over, but you keep circling back because leaving feels too final. So you reopen the wound, you revisit the same thread, you act like familiarity is safety. It is not. It is just familiar. Wheel of Fortune reversed. This is the pattern showing itself. Same argument, same delay, same pull, same excuse, same ending. I need to say that cleaner. This card is not saying fate is against you. It is saying your choices keep returning you to the same loop. Stop calling it bad luck when it is a pattern you keep feeding. The Devil, there is a hook here. You feel in the checking, the craving, the urge to look again even after you already saw enough. That is not romance. That is attachment with teeth in it. You are not confused about what it is. You are attached to how intense it feels. Stop kidding yourself. Intensity is not the same thing as love. Knight of Wands. And here comes the fire. The urge to move fast, send the text, make the move, chase the rush. I'm seeing that impulse very clearly. But this is where you have to check the map before you run. If you act from adrenaline, you will burn out and leave a mess behind you. If you act with intention, you can actually break the cycle instead of feeding it. So the message for you is simple. The truth arrived. The cycle is repeating, not evolving. Your job now is not to chase it harder. Your job is to stop feeding what keeps binding you, sit with what's already clear to you, and choose the move that protects your peace. I'm seeing a very specific loop here. Pisces. July 18th is not asking you to feel more. It is asking you to stop feeding the same pattern. The High Priestess reversed. This card is showing blocked intuition. The High Priestess reversed says you already caught the warning and the signal, you kept second guessing, then talked yourself out of it. You checked the text again. You asked somebody else what it meant. You scrolled for answers instead of sitting still with what your gut already knew. The Hermit. The Hermit is your correction point. You need quiet, not more noise. Cancel the extra opinion. Put the phone down for a minute. Take the walk alone. Journal at night. Let your own mind catch up to your body. You already knew this, but you've been looking outside for a truth that was supposed to come from the quiet room where truth surfaced. Eight of Wands reversed. Eight of Wands reversed is delay, friction, mixed signals. The message is not moving cleanly. The text is late. The conversation stalls. The plan shifts at the last minute. And if you keep pushing it, you just create more static. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are not being denied clarity. You are being slowed down, like when everything's slowed at once, so you stop reacting on impulse. Six of Swords reversed. Six of Swords reversed shows unfinished departure. You keep looking back at something you already outgrew. You keep carrying old pain into the next room. You say you are over it, but your behavior says otherwise. You reopened the wound. You went back to the same place. You treated familiarity like safety. Quit pretending, Pisces. That is not healing. That is limbo. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Wheel of Fortune reversed is the pattern repeating. Same argument. Same trigger, same ending, different day. This is not bad luck. This is a loop. And the loop keeps running because part of you keeps choosing what you know damn well does not work. Because this matters. The moment you name the pattern, you stop calling it destiny. The Devil. The Devil is the hook, the attachment. The compulsion. You check their profile, you wait for the ping. You know it is unhealthy, and you do it anyway because the intensity feels like proof. It is not proof, it is a chain. The Devil is asking you to separate desire from dependency, to admit what is addictive, to stop romanticizing the thing that keeps you stuck. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands brings the urge to move, fast, bold, hot. But this is not a green light to burn the whole field down. Knight of Wands wants disciplined fire, not chaos. Not a reckless text sent at midnight just because your adrenaline is loud. Move after you check the map. Act with intention. If you are going to pursue anything, pursue the exit from the loop. So the moment is simple. The High Priestess reversed says your inner knowing has been blocked by noise. The Hermit says go back inside. Eight of Wands reversed says stop forcing stalled communication. Six of Swords reversed says release what you keep dragging with you. Wheel of Fortune reversed says this is a pattern, not fate. The Devil says cut the attachment. Knight of Wands says move, but move clean. Stop feeding the loop and choose the exit. Okay. That's all I've got for now. If this hit, you already know what to do. Please like, subscribe, tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.